ChatGPT has been ordered by a government agency to turn over its records related to consumer protections. What concerns are top of list in the FTC's investigation? And the WHO officially releases their report on how safe it is to consume an artificial sweetener found in popular diet drinks and its possible link to cancer. The rundown starts now. This is Straight Arrow News, bringing you unbiased, straight facts. Today is Friday, July 14th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. The Federal Trade Commission is investigating whether OpenAI's ChatGPT is harmful to its consumers, looking into whether false information is being generated about them or whether their personal information could potentially be at risk. The federal agency will dig into the company's privacy safeguards and data security practices. The CEO of OpenAI said its technology is safe to use, and they are confident the government watchdog will see they are following the law. Many questions linger on how governments around the world will respond to a growing field of artificial intelligence. While here in the U.S., talks of potential regulation are still floating around Capitol Hill, China has taken a major step in overseeing the powerful technology. China's top internet watchdog unveiled a set of new rules on Thursday that will apply to AI beginning August 15th. Companies will have to be licensed to operate and register any AI algorithms with the Chinese Communist Party government. Its AI services in China must also adhere to the core values of socialism. China becomes one of the first countries in the world to impose AI regulations. Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich has been detained in Russia for more than 100 days on espionage charges, allegations that he, his employer, and the U.S. government have said are false. President Biden was asked by the press about the idea of a potential prisoner swap in order to free the jailed journalist. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I'm serious about prisoner exchange. I'm serious about doing all we can to free Americans from being illegally held in Russia or anywhere else for that matter. And that process is underway.
The U.S. said those talks are already underway, but cautions there hasn't been a clear pathway to a resolution. Paul Whelan is also considered wrongfully detained in Russia, someone left behind in the last high-profile prisoner exchange the U.S. and Russia conducted to release WNBA star Brittany Griner. Gershkovich could face up to a 20-year sentence, where Russia is known for harsh prison camps and conditions. The Russian-based Wagner mercenary group simply doesn't exist, according to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Putin came to this conclusion by saying there is no law on private military organizations, so it simply doesn't exist. This comes as the U.S. Department of Defense notes a suspension of activity of Wagner forces on the Ukrainian front line. Putin says he offered the Wagner mercenaries a chance to continue serving after their failed mutiny. Revealed earlier this week, Putin met with Russian mercenary groups' commanders and had them pledge loyalty. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, the Wagner forces are completing the handover of their weapons to the Russian military. Just hours ago, tens of thousands of actors officially began striking after a strike was unanimously approved by Hollywood's largest union. While the work stoppage officially began at midnight, signs of a strike could already be seen yesterday, with the cast of the upcoming film Oppenheimer walking out of the film's London premiere. The actors, represented by the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, now joins the Writers Guild of America in a strike that is now over 200,000 people strong. The double-barreled strike is expected to shut down the small number of productions that continued shooting during the writers' strike.
We really didn't want to strike. We extended an unprecedented amount of time to avert a strike because it's not lost on us how this will impact not only our members, but people who service our industry, people who are in other unions that will be affected by this.
And now to an update to a story The Rundown reported on last month. The World Health Organization's cancer agency has deemed the sweetener aspartame as a possible cause of cancer. Aspartame, used in a variety of foods, including Diet Coke, chewing gum, and desserts, is also an ingredient in tabletop sweeteners like Equal and NutraSweet. The International Agency for Research on Cancer based its conclusion that aspartame is a possible carcinogenic on studies in humans and animals. It found limited evidence that the sweetener may be linked to liver cancer.
The category 1 is carcinogen. That's where smoking is. And then we have 2A and 2B. So probable carcinogen and possible. So it is a lower level category, but it prompts the WHO to do studies of what the risk is.
In a separate study by another WHO group, it was reaffirmed that aspartame remains safe when consumed below certain daily levels. They say people can safely consume 40 milligrams of aspartame per kilogram of body weight per day. That's the equivalent of an average adult drinking up to 14 cans of diet soda a day. MyPillow is auctioning off more than 700 pieces of its equipment, ranging from forklifts to office desks and cubicles. MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell, a vocal supporter of former President Trump, told the Minneapolis Star-Tribune the auction comes after MyPillow lost $100 million in revenue due to big retailers halting sales of the company's products, which he blamed on cancel culture. Walmart, Kohl's, H-E-B, and Wayfair are some of the companies who dropped his products. Thanks for watching Straight Arrow News, where our mission is to bring you unbiased, fact-based reporting. And we're doing just that. 2 separate industry watchdogs confirm SAN is reporting right down the middle. So if you prefer the source that gives it to you straight, stay with us at straightarrownews.com and follow us on social media. Unbiased, straight facts, that's SAN. We'll see you back here on Monday. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great weekend.